Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. So do me a favor before we dive into these topics. If you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. Helps the videos out more than you know. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. I want to start here by talking about Resident Evil 4 Remake. The reviews are officially out, and this game is reviewing incredibly well, which shouldn't be too surprising because it is a remake, and you know, the original game, Resident Evil 4, is considered one of the best of all time. But if we head over to Metacritic, it's currently sitting at a 93 based on 93 total critic reviews, which is very impressive. There are only 2 mixed reviews, but there are 91 reviews in total that are in the green and considered positive, and 0 negative reviews. So I figured I would just kind of relay this news to you guys because, you know, this is one of the bigger games coming out this year, in my opinion, and Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. I think some people were a little bit worried that, you know, maybe with them remaking such a beloved game, you know, some things maybe could go wrong, and that doesn't seem to be the case here. And I think after people played the demo or even just watched some footage of it, I think it, you know, became pretty clear that, yeah, they're doing this right. Capcom absolutely knows what they're doing and they're handling it very well. So if you were somebody who was maybe waiting to see how this game would review, it's, you know, pretty much up there as a must-play title for 2023, or maybe in general. I mean, getting a 93 on Metacritic is not an easy feat at all. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts on that. The next topic talks about Far Cry 5. Over on the official Far Cry 5 Twitter account, they came out and they said, "You've been waiting long enough. Welcome to Hope County. Experience Far Cry 5 in native 60 FPS, available for PS5 and Xbox Series consoles now. Far Cry 5 will also have a free weekend from March 23rd to 27th on all consoles and PC. Enjoy. Hashtag Far Cry 5 anniversary." And so this was something that some people were anticipating because it is the 5th anniversary of Far Cry 5. And, you know, a lot of people were thinking maybe there's going to be some type of an announcement, and lo and behold, there actually was. And so, you know, it's a bit random, but, you know, better late than never. It's always good to see these games getting upgrades, especially when they're free for the current gen consoles. And so at this point, I'm curious to know, if you're somebody who played Far Cry 5, are you going to go back, if you now own a PS5 or an Xbox Series console, to experience it again, you know, now that it's getting this free upgrade? Or, you know, let me know if you're somebody who maybe hasn't played Far Cry 5, if now you're interested in doing so. But we are moving on to the next topic here, which talks about Forspoken once again. And we have a report from PlayStation Lifestyle. They say PS5 console exclusive Forspoken apparently had a development budget of over $100 million. That's according to its lead writer, Alison Reimer, who mentioned the staggering figure on her LinkedIn profile. Spotted by Games Radar, Reimer's LinkedIn profile still has Forspoken's budget information up at the time of this writing. The page is probably going to end up being updated soon, but a screenshot of the relevant portion has been captured. And that's what makes this kind of interesting, because we don't normally get to hear about how much money goes into a game. I mean, we can make assumptions, and, you know, sometimes I'd say that these assumptions get pretty close, but it is definitely not good for Square Enix that they poured over $100 million into a game like Forspoken, and then they have to come out to not only, you know, bad or not ideal reviews, but also making it clear that it underperformed sales-wise. It is quite unfortunate. And so, yeah, this is definitely a situation where you can begin to understand why they felt the need to dissolve Luminous Productions, because when you give a studio a budget this large and you pretty much just get nothing but negative results, yeah, it's going to be very hard to justify keeping that studio around and, you know, letting them work on future projects. So all in all, just, you know, more negative news for Forspoken, unfortunately. But moving on from that, apparently Microsoft's lawyers seem to believe that a PS5 exclusive Superman game is in development at PlayStation. This is an error that appeared in section 2.20 of Microsoft's response to the CMA's provisional findings, and this is what they said. The figure shows the impact of PlayStation exclusive releases on Xbox console sales is redacted. This applies for big titles like God of War or Superman. There has never been evidence that exclusivity of one single franchise can drive console sales. So there's a lot wrong with this statement that Microsoft's lawyers provided to the CMA. Obviously, the most glaring is that they mention a PS5 exclusive Superman game, which doesn't exist. It's pretty obvious they meant to type Spider-Man. This isn't a good look for Microsoft's lawyers, but not that big of a deal. Ultimately, I think everybody reading this is aware that they meant Spider-Man. But what's even more shocking is that they actually have the audacity to say here that there's never been evidence that exclusivity of one single franchise can drive console sales. That is absolutely absurd to think, in my opinion, or certainly to believe. I think throughout all the decades of console gaming, we've actually seen quite the opposite. It's not to say that, if a console releases and it literally only has one single exclusive franchise, that means that console's going to sell well. That might not necessarily be true, but just to kind of, put this notion forth that if you have a really popular, really desirable IP, and that's exclusive to your console, that's not going to drive console sales. That's pretty ridiculous. And it's also really ironic because when you look at Microsoft's past with the Xbox consoles, the original Xbox, the 360, and even the Xbox One, that was pretty much their business model. Exclusive games, exclusive content, and, we look at what type of work that has put in for the Xbox console over the years. So, pretty strange statement overall, but in case you were wondering, no, a Superman game is not in development at PlayStation Studios. However, I will say before moving on, that would certainly be something interesting to see, right? You think about the speed of the PS5, what could be achieved if there really was like a PS5 exclusive Superman game. That would be pretty cool to see. But moving on from that, apparently the FTC has asked Microsoft to reveal more documents that they believe will be crucial to this entire situation. The investigation of Microsoft's Activision Blizzard deal is raging on, and now the FTC is asking Microsoft to reveal any exclusivity plans that they may have, along with their Call of Duty agreements. The FTC has requests for Microsoft in a newly released document that, among other things, states, quote, RFP 11 requests all documents related to the exclusivity of content Microsoft acquired from ZeniMax and exclusivity of content Microsoft proposes to acquire from Activision, end quote. This basically means that the FTC wants Microsoft to outline all of its future plans for any Activision Blizzard properties when it pertains to exclusivity, along with any documents of a similar nature for ZeniMax Media. Interestingly, while all major details related to it are redacted, the FTC also wants all documents related to Microsoft's next-generation gaming ecosystem, which includes consoles, subscriptions, and cloud gaming, with the document requesting documents related to redacted, the code name for Microsoft's next-generation gaming ecosystem. So, yeah, that's the thing about this that is pretty frustrating from a public point of view, is all of the important and relevant information that we would want to know is redacted. We're not going to, as far as I'm aware, be able to figure out what games Microsoft is planning to make exclusive in the future. What we do know is that because the FTC is requesting this, whatever games that they are planning on making exclusive in the future, when it comes to Bethesda and Activision Blizzard, it will be used against them. Clearly, that's why the FTC is requesting this. It's also really interesting to think about, Microsoft's next-gen gaming ecosystem, because they apparently do have a code name for it, and they do have a plan that they want to execute, and it would certainly be interesting to get a glimpse into some of the stuff that we're certainly not supposed to know about yet. But nonetheless, the FTC is beginning to, press on Microsoft a little bit more here, apply a little bit more pressure, and so I'm sure Sony is happy to see that. But we are moving on to the final topic of this video, which unfortunately is a very sad topic, not something that I was expecting to be talking about. I'm sure many of you are aware of it by now, but unfortunately, the actor Lance Reddick has suddenly passed away at the age of 60. Lance Reddick is well known for many of his roles, especially in gaming, and that's why I think this is pretty relevant to this channel, because Lance Reddick not only plays the role of Silence in the Horizon series, but he's also really well known for playing Zavala in the Destiny series. And outside of that, he's known for many other things, and in gaming, actually, he did play a role in Quantum Break, which is interesting to think about. But, you know, he has a role in the John Wick series. He's known for his role in The Wire and many other, you know, TV spots and other movies. But all in all, he is a really, you know, really talented actor that people, I think, really enjoyed. And I can honestly say, personally for me, that he played an amazing role in Horizon as Silence. In fact, he was my favorite character. And that's one of the biggest reasons I'm excited to play the upcoming Burning Shores DLC, because he accidentally maybe let the cat out of the bag a little while ago when he was doing some mocap, and he was teasing something for Horizon. So that's very likely for the Burning Shores DLC. And so it very well could be the last time we see Lance Reddick playing the role of Silence. Maybe he'll make an appearance in Horizon 3, but I'm not necessarily anticipating it. And obviously, the Destiny community is gutted right now because, you know, he had such a major role in the Destiny franchise. And what's cool is that both Bungie and Guerrilla Games actually put out statements acknowledging his passing, saying some really great things. And, you know, it's obviously just really sad, especially because of just how sudden it was. And so, yeah, I just wanted to take a moment to make everybody aware of this. I don't know, you know, how many of you guys are familiar with Lance Reddick, but, you know, the timing is just, I mean, look, the timing would be unfortunate no matter what, but with John Wick 4 right around the corner, you know, he's going to play a prominent role in that. And then obviously the Burning Shores DLC, you know, he had a lot going on. And so I'm just glad that we'll be able to experience, you know, his final pieces of work in this way. But yeah, this is some very unfortunate news. Again, not something I was expecting to be talking about. And at this point, I kind of want to leave it to you guys. Leave your thoughts down below. Let me know what your favorite Lance Reddick role is or was. And yeah, I'll be interested to see what you guys have to say. But that does it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. Leave it a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon. And feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.